That's nice. Recording. Good evening. My name is Dr. Javi Goldberg, and I founded CyberSem. I want to welcome you to this webinar, all the guests that came to participate, of interested students, their parents, and maybe some educators. Tonight, our goal is to open up and to give you an open house of the CyberSem platform and to answer some questions that you may have, and I'll give you a guided tour. Before we start, I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and about my journey on the way to founding CyberSem. 4 things about myself. Number 1, I have taught primary, high school, seminary, and adult education. When our youngest child was 4, I decided that my pedagogy skills needed upgrading. And so I went back to finish my diploma. I went back to finish my BA, and I completed my bachelor's in Talpiot in Toronto. I had always wanted to do some work in curriculum development, and so I enrolled in a master's program in Nova Southeastern University. Now, at the end of that program, I had to do an assignment, and that assignment availed me the opportunity to look around and to see what can you learn on the web, what courses are available. And so I realized that you can learn anything, you can do anything in the internet, except girl cannot go to seminary. And so I decided, that must be interesting for me to do. So I decided I was going to set out to change that. And after asking rabbinical advice, I actually did. After asking rabbinical advice and getting the approval from the Rav, who said even a man can go to can get smicha online, but a girl cannot go to seminary online. And so I set out to change that. Once I had his approval, I had a mission. I knew that I wanted to provide courses for girls. The most important thing for them at that time was, and I think even now, is to get credits for their seminary courses and get credits for whatever they were studying. I also wanted the deans to talk to me. So that's what motivated me to get a doctorate in distance education. I enrolled in a doctorate program. It took me many years to complete, but I finally did. And now deans are happy to talk to me. One of the most common questions I'm asked is, are your courses for me? I have no Hebrew background, or I went to a day school, and I'd like to continue learning some more. Or someone else may say, I did not go to a Jewish day school as a child, but I'd love to be able to learn in the text. Is there something for me? I didn't go to a seminary. Can I go now? The answer to all of them is yes. I hope as we move through the questions and the ideas that we discuss, the list of issues that we're going to be addressing today, as well as the things that I'm going to present to you outside of these questions. If you have any of your own questions, please hold them to the end. There will be a time for that. And at the end of the open house, you will receive an offer. Please wait till the end for that offer. And here we go on. The typical model of seminary brings with it its own interesting challenges. These are the things that with any other year other than today, a set of parents goes through in their own mind when they're faced with the reality of, my daughter is finishing high school. Now I have to deal with seminary. And so these are some of the issues that every parent goes through. Am I going to send my daughter to seminary? And The bottom, the basis probably for most of these questions is, if my daughter doesn't go to seminary, will she get a good shidduch? And so with that as the foundation of the thoughts of parents that parents go through, these are some of the particulars that goes through their minds. Number one, I'm sending my child across the ocean. Am I ready to send my child across the ocean? Is my child okay being away from home? Is my child mature enough to go away from home? Can my child make a good decision when she is away in a different place without me being so close to her? In the Bina magazine in January, they ran a seminary issue. And the title of this seminary issue, the cover page, said to go or not to go, which means that already it's been some time that not every girl wants to go to seminary. Not every girl can go to seminary. And so this is a very real consideration. This is until now, until COVID came. And then the cost. It's very expensive to go to seminary. Can parents afford to send multiple girls to seminary? What do they have to do in their lives in order to have enough money to pay the exorbitant seminary fees? And so CyberSem and COVID has now introduced a couple of more challenges. First of all, my daughter is finishing high school. Has she finished high school? Is she going to get credits for the courses that she's missed since Purim? If she's gone to seminary, she's come home for seminary. Has she got her seminary credits? And next year, is it going to be open? Is it going to be safe? Will she have to come home in the middle? These are upside down questions that parents are actively asking themselves. And so CyberSem has some benefits. First of all, CyberSem can be accessed from anywhere in the world. All you need is an internet connection and a computer. You don't have to leave your own home in order to learn Torah on the best level. And then our program is customizable, just like the palette of makeup you see in front of you. And it's affordable. We'll see in a couple of slides exactly a couple of ideas, a couple of comparisons that we have that will show you how it's affordable. And now we have flexible classes. This is a little bit more interesting and delving into what are the CyberSem classes, what do they look like? So to accommodate more student interest, we introduced a self-paced equivalent to our classroom courses. In each course, students work through the week's presentation, as you'll see in a few minutes when we get to the tour, and assignments as a cohort. They are involved in discussion postings where they each have to answer a question that's part of the work. You'll see how that looks. And then they have to answer two other classmates' questions. Not only an answer like, oh, that was great, or you thought well, or anything like that, but it has to be a meaningful answer. It has to be something, your opinion has to be based on some extracurricular reading that you are doing of your own thinking up, of your own resources. And so during these classes, there are also some synchronous sessions, meaning that in the classroom, the girls can go into an online feature, also right through the software, and the whole class is together, the instructor and the students are together, and they can see each other in real time. When people started telling me, I love to learn, but I don't ever want you to tell me to be in any specific place at any specific time. I want it all self-paced. Don't tell me anywhere where I have to be. So fine. So then I started reworking my courses into self-paced courses. The self-paced courses are just as packed as the classroom ones, but except they don't have the discussions because you're doing it all by yourself. And so we have our comparison of the different options that parents have nowadays. Number one, they have Eretz Yisrael, which which gives them a full seminary program in 1 year. A couple of them are more than 1 year, which cost approximately $20,000. They tell me it's more, but that's what it's going to cost. Then you have campus courses, college campuses, and their cost per credit. In Stern, the cost per credit is $1,550. If you want to, I got these figures online. They're available for everyone to Google. Fairleigh Dickinson, which has many Jewish people from many Jewish students. They have different cohorts. Their cost per credit is $997. I know that state colleges don't cost very much. I didn't do any research on that, but I know that many of the parents do know. TTI, who is giving you credits, I really thought that it belonged as a private Jewish college, but it doesn't, because you're getting a degree through a Excelsior or one of their universities. And so it costs about $9,200 for completing a BA after seminary. Sarah Schneer is more of a private Jewish college. Their cost is $18,000 for a year, and that research needs to be done as far as exactly what that encompasses. And the new seminary is $9,800 for a year of seminary, and they award 48 credits towards a degree. Additional credits are $675 per credit for additional credits up to a full 120 credit degree. Now, that's what's on the market, a basic overview of what's on the market. Now, let's look down below at the next table. Next, we have CyberSem. CyberSem does not at this time offer a full program, but our mandate is that girls should be learning Torah at the same time as they're doing something else in life. That is the benefit, or one of the benefits, of distance education. And our cost per credit, and I'm going to leave it up to you to do the math, we charge $500 for 3 credits that we'll discuss in a few minutes exactly what that entails. So when you look at the cost, so I'm not offering a full seminary program, but I think at this time parents are willing to review the social and the experience of being in Eretz Yisrael for a year against the costs of that experience, and that's for each parent to discuss. There's always an alternative to sending your child to a free state college to save on costs. But as we were discussing in different slides, we see that sending your child to a state college involves exposing them to an environment, to a co-ed environment, and anti-Semitism, and that's another issue. So if your children are going to learn a career, to have a profession, wonderful. But please have them continue learning Torah at the same time. Now, here we have about CyberSem during Corona, a little bit of the solutions to some of the issues that we discussed before. First of all, we have fully accredited courses that provide education at all levels. What does that mean? It means that you can use our credits as an AP credit towards completing high school. Your daughter can finish seminary, and she's getting a comparable seminary education from the comfort of your home, of where you know what she's doing, you see who she's out with, and you see who her friends are. About CyberSem in general. So the CyberSem, so the credits we discussed a little bit just before. We provide AP credits and credits for electives in universities across Canada, the States. The ease of use. I use a sophisticated platform to house CyberSem course. The Canvas learning management system is being used by over 5,000 institutions. And internet security. We understand the sensitivity of the girls and their backgrounds and hold to the highest standards of care in regard to internet exposure. CyberSem uses a robust program that once logged in, the student doesn't have any other access to the internet. Even the synchronous sessions where the students are all together in a classroom are activated, are accessed from within Canvas, as you'll see in a couple of minutes. At CyberSem, we have only women instructors. We have men who create courses, but only women interact with other students and instruct the courses. The safety of the precautions that CyberSem takes really is the antithesis of sending your child to a free state college, which we've also discussed and up for discussion. So, the educational philosophy of CyberSem, I'm going to give you an overview of a couple of very interesting points that I want to share with you. Some of them, they're all educationally based, and I hope this will give you an understanding, or at least the tip of the iceberg, of what goes into the planning of a CyberSem course. We are not just a lecture online. Here we go. CyberSem has true curriculum-based education. One of the most common courses that I'm asked is, how are your courses different than other online courses? So distance education is education that's delivered at a distance, either geographically or time constraints, or both. Often it's both. Until recently, I think people tended to shy away from distance education. But since we have this pandemic, I think everybody is on Zoom at least once a day. And so I think that the option of pursuing CyberSem is now really within reach. But CyberSem courses are not just lectures that are being delivered online instead of in the classroom. What are the differences between distance education and in-class learning? Number one, in a distance education course, the students acquire 21st century skills. Within every CyberSem course, the students gain practice collaborating with other students. This is huge in the workplace, because often once they get to work, they will have to work with people culturally who are around the globe, and here they get a taste of that. Studying in CyberSem allows students to balance home responsibilities and work with responsibilities with studying at the same time. Many students report a tremendous satisfaction being able to continue working alongside continuing to study. We use a range of online tools to deliver a robust course that I will demonstrate during the tour of our platform. And distance education has been known to benefit the shy student. A girl, a person, anybody sitting in it that tends to be a little bit on the shy side may be reluctant to participate in a face-to-face conversation. Having a little bit of an anonymity in the distance education classroom, a girl can contribute her opinion to whatever is being discussed, and will gain the confidence that her opinions are being valued by her students. And often we find that they are more outcoming with their opinions in later studies. CyberSem was built to add options that Jewish women have to participate in Jewish learning. As people of the book, we are coined as lifelong learners. How could it be that our formal study ends at the tender age of 20? That is why I started CyberSem. I think we all have to grow, and we all have to expand our horizons in learning. As we mature our careers or interests, it is such a shame that Torah learning often lags behind. In the early years of development, I was focused on providing young women the opportunity to continue their Jewish studies upon completing seminary. That was my original niche group. The skills, whether a person gets married, goes to work, goes to college, everybody has a need to continue learning. Lifelong learning is really the goal of education. The skills that the students gain in their early years of education, their formal years of education, should be the springboard of a lifetime of increased study in both the depth and the breadth of the Torah subjects. With time, we realize that online learning has many more applications and benefits than originally imagined. Women who are physically chas v'shalom challenged, women between 20 and 120, all are welcome and benefit from the CyberSem platform. Student-centered learning. You are the sage on the stage. When the movement towards student-centered education classroom became active, two phrases accompanied it: the sage on the stage or the guide on the side. These really describe the choices in philosophy of how a teacher conducts her class. Who is the focus of the classroom, the teacher or the student? In CyberSem, it's clearly the student. We flip the roles. The teacher is the guide on the side, and we want all the students to shine with their true potential and become the sage on the stage. The sage on the stage. I want to see all those girls shining with their learning and with their devotion to Torah. This is huge. And now the emphasis on skills of self-regulated learning. The practical emphasis of developing active self-regulatory skills is built into all facets of our program. During earlier stages of education, earlier grades, younger grades, the teacher primarily conducts a class. But as a student transitions into higher education, into the work world, into adult life, into post-secondary education, the student is required to take a more active role in determining the outcome of that education. The self-regulatory skills include, but not limited to, being able to advocate for oneself, asking for help when they need it, time and materials management, like budgeting your time and knowing where your things are in your knapsack, staying organized. And the last one of the list that I'm going to tell you about is metacognition, which is understanding how you function amongst others. In the professional literature, these are called non-cognitive skills. They are clearly not reflecting cognitive knowledge, content knowledge, but they do affect one's academic success positively, and if they are lacking, negatively. We have all heard a teacher at PTA say, oh, your son or your daughter can do much better if he or she really tried. No, that's not true. Often the child was trying. My heart goes out for that child who's been told, oh, just try a little hard, my Zisa Sarala, and you'll do better on the next test. But no, Sarala was trying hard. But a teacher is skilled in recognizing these non-cognitives will teach the child how to try harder, in which area to try harder, will give her skills to be able to understand herself and to appreciate in what areas she can work on to achieve the academic success that she really deserves. These are vital in moving a teenager into the adult work education world. And now we're ready to move on to our tour of a CyberSem course. Tonight we're going to highlight the course, Biblical Figures, Contemporary Lessons, Women in Nach. I'm going to show you this course. After this course, I'm going to send you a little video that I made, how you register for a course and how you log into a course. And now I'm going to stop sharing this. I'm going to stop sharing it for a moment, and then I'll bring you into the Canvas program, the CyberSem on Canvas. And I want you to, as you're looking through, I want you to think of these few points. Number one, there are 10 women who are highlighted in this course. Who are the 10 women in the Nach that we're highlighting tonight? Number two, each course is built with a preparation, with a hachana. Why? Because probably, or maybe, the last time, unless you're a teacher, The last time you went through the texts in Shoftim, Shmuel Aleph, Shmuel Beis was many years ago. And so it's important to bring the basic storyline back into focus, the basic Meforshim commentaries back into focus, and then you continue learning deeper and more importantly as an adult. The next thing that I'm going to show you is that the sources are built in. The sources that the students need to complete the assignments are built into the course. Yes, I would love for everybody to open a Sefer. I'd love for everybody to have the books that they need, but in case you're traveling, then you should not have to stop learning. The sources are built in. They are built in. Some of the sources of the basic texts are just in Hebrew, but if someone does not understand the Hebrew, then there are texts available in English for everything that we have in Hebrew. And then there are various venues of class presentation. This particular course, Mrs. Tauger, who wrote the course, they are written. There's ebooks for each of the ladies. Others are pre-recorded, some are video, and obviously some are in live class. And there are a range of components to the course. I want you to see the things that we build into a course. It's not just a lecture. You will see the internet, how we link the internet within a course. Once you've been logged in, then you don't have to go anywhere else on the internet. And all of the assignments in the same way, all of the assignments are uploaded right into the course. Again, no need for external internet exposure. Now I'm going to make a new share. And here we are. And there we go. Here we are. This is what it looks like. This is what the screen looks like. You've navigated to the CyberSem website within the Canvas structure, and then you put in the email that you used when you registered, and you put in your password like I have prepared for it, and you simply log in. Oh dear. There we are. When you put in your password correctly, like I did, you will come to the dashboard. Whichever course or courses you have registered for will appear on your dashboard. Since I'm the admin, they're all on my dashboard. So here we've navigated to Women in Nach, and that will open you up to the home page of the course. When you enter the course, down here on the screen, there you go, it's hyperlinked. You go into the course and you see here that each week looks like this, filled with different things that we're going to see, different assignments, different pieces that you're going to see that we have. So the first thing I'm going to tell you who are the 10 women. The 10 women are Chana, Devorah, Rus, Rachav, Michal, Abigail, the Tekoit, the Shunamite, Ashes Ovadia, and Esther. That's without notes. So in this course, we have those 10 women. And I mentioned before that we have preparation. So we have the preparation, so there's two pieces to it. I wanted the girls to be focused in what they're reviewing. So yes, there are preparation questions. And together with it, I provided for the resources to look into and address those questions. And here you have this ebook that I put together. I put it together, and here you have the different commentaries and the psukim that we need, and the different basic commentaries. These, again, are all in Hebrew, but they can be had in English. Then I'm going to show you how I'm going to go back to the screen that we were on. Very easy to navigate. Then I'm going to show you the preparation questions, and you'll see that we're going to preview them. So to prepare for class, the students have to prepare. This is where the instructions are, and they answer the questions. Here I have it. Here is the first question, and here you have your HTML screen to be able to type in the answers, and you submit it right on the computer. No need to go anywhere. I'm going to go back. Okay, the next point we're going to do is the various venues of class presentations. So I said before that, so various resources. So Mrs. Tauger wrote a book. For each of the women, she wrote a book. And this is what takes the students into a greater understanding of the content. This is the meat and potatoes of the course. And here you have what she wrote. They're all about 20 pages long. And I'm going to show you, in addition to this, I want to show you that everything that's been written that comes from a source other than the basic text is all translated. There are Yalkut Shimonis, there's Malbim. This one up here is a Malbim. There's another Yalkut Shimoni. There's some Gemaras. There's a Vayikra Rabbah here. There's a Medrash Shmuel. So you have the deeper dig into the life of Hannah is taken from various sources and various exciting sources for the girls to study for. This is where they're going ahead in their study, in their understanding of the text and understanding of the women who we are dealing with. So that's there. Next, we're going to go back to that same modules page. So we have Hannah, and this is what she's learning. And this is what we're learning deeper about her than we knew before. And now the last piece of this particular course, of this particular module on her, is a discussion posting. And I mentioned before that there are discussion postings, and these are made in order for the girls to be able to transfer their knowledge of Hannah into their own personal lives. Ellie and Penina attempted to help Hannah go beyond her difficult ordeal of being a akara, of not having children. Comment on their tactics and express your opinions on the different methodology each one uses. It's not just Ellie did this and Penina did that, but we want you to think about it. If you were facing a woman who is having a difficulty in that area of life, and nowadays the situation of a couple not having children is real. How would we want to help someone through that ordeal or any difficult emotional ordeal that they face? Would you employ either of these approaches in similar circumstances today? Yes, our girls are going to be facing similar circumstances today. How are they going to deal with their friends? Someone may or may not have to wait to have that child. Deal with it in shidduchim. Suggest alternative opinions soothing a troubled heart. How would you do that today? That requires a little bit of reading and a ton of thought. So here everybody has to reply to it. And as the girls reply, they have to reply again to two friends. But it's not just a simple comment, oh, that was a nice idea, but they have to take the content of what their friend wrote and give it a comment, a deep comment that I really thought about your opinion, and I'm giving you something that's meaningful in return. And then that can be a conversation. That can be several layers deep. Okay, so those are the pieces that we are dealing with here. The one more piece that I wanted to tell you about is a term assignment. And I make available the term assignments right away, right in the beginning, because the term assignment for this particular course is the first one, in this course, there are 3 of them. And I want the girls to be able to look through to think about the assignment as they're working through the ladies. So they can put together they can put together ideas as they're working through the people. And so when they get to the last week, then the week that it's due, they don't have such an amount of work. This is being able to do materials management, of manage your materials and manage your time, and understand how much time it's going to take you to do an assignment, and be able to, we've structured it so that a person is working through their assignment and they see how they can structure it to work in time. Huge, huge, very important. So we sort of put our money where our mouths are. The courses are structured to have built in these self-regulatory skills, and the girls, you don't have to teach them anything, but they come to it by themselves. Okay, so that's offered there. And then the last piece that I think that I owe you in this open house, this tour, is the Adobe Connect session. And here's where you see that when I build in the Adobe Connect session right into the module, that the girls don't have to go anywhere on the internet. It's right as you log in. That is waiting, that is part of it. You go right from inside your course into the synchronous session, and the first one does have one because Mrs. Tauger is going to explain. She explains what is the Indian of Nevuah, how do we understand Nevuah. It's something that none of us experience. So that's her introduction, that's her hakdama to the course. Good. At the end, you'll be able to ask me questions, and I hope that you will. Now I'm going to share a different screen. I'm going to share a new share. And I want to introduce the next thing that we have is our new, is our speaker. That wasn't included. Our guest speaker for tonight, she had to send in a recording, but I think it's just as beautiful. Charlene has one of the largest followings that I have ever heard of on Instagram, on social media. She inspires women of all segments of the Jewish population with her charming charisma and meaningful messages. And now I'm going to share again with her. There we go.
Good evening. I'm Charlene Amanoff, and I'm so excited to tell you about CyberSem. In Sefer Shemot, Parshat Yitro, it talks about Matan Torah, the giving of the Torah. It says, Moshe ala el ha'elokim, vayikra elav Hashem min hahar. And Moshe ascended towards Hashem, and Hashem called out to him from the mountain, Le'emor, saying, Ko tomar lebeit Yaakov, v'taged lebnei Yisrael. So you should give over to Beit Yaakov, and so you should say to Bnei Yisrael. Mefarshim explain that Benos Yisrael came before Bnei Yisrael to show that Hashem told Moshe to give over the Torah first to the women and then to the men. This is to emphasize the importance of the role a Jewish woman plays in the world of Torah learning. Women, we are the Akeret HaBayit. We set the tone of the home, and we are the ones responsible to instill the love of Torah and mitzvot into our children, a task to which our loving nature is best suited. It is of vital importance that we continue to learn Torah, even post-high school, post-seminary, and beyond, in order for us to continue to give over the delicious teachings of our sweet Torah to our future generations. Now, how can we give over the Torah? We must first strengthen ourselves by connecting to and learning from our ultimate role models. Who are these role models? The women in Tanakh. The real, true role models of Klal Yisrael are the women in the Torah. We must learn from their mitot and their beautiful character traits in order for us to know how we must give that over to our children, how we must shape our lives. For example, from Rivka Imenu, we learn about chesed, the way she had mercy and she fed the camels water. That was a very hard task. For example, from Rachel Imenu, we learn vatranut, how to be mevater. When Rachel felt so much pain for her sister Leah, for her not to be embarrassed, and Rachel shared the signs with Leah so she shouldn't live with shame and humiliation. We learn from these imahot, from these role models, how we must conduct ourselves. And when we learn from that, we're able to give it over to our children and to our generations to come. From Hannah, we learn tefillah. And it is so important for our children to learn from us, from the way we pick up our siddur, our tehillim, and we daven, and we strive to come closer to Hashem. But what happens when either we just simply don't know about these role models from which we need to emulate, or perhaps we learned about them back in elementary school, back in high school, and we've forgotten? How can we give that over? This is where CyberSem comes into play. If you are 10th, 11th, 12th grade, and you want to be able to continue learning about the beautiful women in Torah, to continue to grow, to continue to flourish, CyberSem is for you. If you are a mom at home with little kids and you're thirsting to know more and you've forgotten because you learned back in elementary school, CyberSem is for you. If perhaps you're an empty nester and you've married off your children, Mazal Tov, but now you want to know more, you want to emulate, you want to grow and learn and thrive. You want your home to continue radiating the flame of Torah and mitzvot and Yiddishkeit. CyberSem is for you. CyberSem is the only online seminary catering to Benos Yisrael. I never had the zechut to go to seminary for a number of reasons. First and foremost, my father was a worrywart, and he was very apprehensive and anxious about sending off his precious daughter to Eretz Yisrael to learn. Another problem I faced was the financial aspect. You see, my older sister was able to go to seminary, but very soon after it was my turn to go, and the funds ran dry, so I never had a chance to go to seminary. And 20 years later, this is something that is still a sore subject in my life. But along comes a brilliant organization such as CyberSem, and it allows Jewish women to continue to learn and thrive and grow and go to seminary while making it accessible, affordable, and not only that, but they're also allowing you to get 3 credits per course. This is why I am so excited to partner up with CyberSem. I know the importance of learning Torah, and I know the importance of giving over that learning to our children, because it is through that that the flame of Torah will continue to grow and burn and illuminate. CyberSem comes into play at a time where we need it most. The only way to dispel the darkness is through light. And when we learn Torah, we ignite the flame, and that flame can extinguish the darkest of night. Sign up with CyberSem. Partner up with CyberSem. Continue to learn out of the comfort of your own home. Continue to grow. Continue to emulate the true role models of Klal Yisrael. After all, we were the ones that were told before Bnei Yisrael to receive and to give over the Torah. Thank you so much, and I hope that you will see the importance of signing up with CyberSem and share this with everyone you know, whether it's a 10th grader who doesn't have a chance to go to seminary in 2 years for whatever reason, or it's a woman who's lonely and thirsting for Torah at home. Share, and let's get as many Torah learning women as we can, and Bezrat Hashem soon we should all be able to dance in front of the Beit HaMikdash with the coming of Mashiach Tzidkeinu B'mehera B'yameinu. Amen.
Thank you, Charlene. There we are. I want to thank you tonight. Here's a special offer that we have for tonight's attendees. We are offering 10% off on all courses through May the 17th, which is this Sunday. CyberSem courses are affordable and available on demand. The cost, as we said before, for semester courses is $500 for 3 credits. And we are offering a 10% discount on all courses through this Sunday, May the 17th. I will be sending you, Emir Tashem, an email with this and the other resources we discussed after the webinar is over. I want to thank you all for coming. I look forward to your feedback. If there's anything I can answer for you, I'm going to stop sharing the screen, and it'll just be us together. And does anybody have any questions? Do you have any questions? You know how to unmute yourself. Thank you all for coming and for attending my webinar. And I hope you found it as exciting as I found to offer it. Bye-bye.